Hello and welcome from the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, home to the Canadian Grand Prix, for today's qualifying session. When it comes to getting lap time out of this circuit, it's traditionally been about maximising top speed. Do you simply remove as much downforce as possible, hang on into the corners and max out down the straights?
The teams will have arrived with all manner of parts designed to capitalise on the long straights. The cars will be that much harder to drive in the corners, but everyone will be in the same boat.
just put in the fastest lap. Good job.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top three today. De Vries, Hamilton and Charles Leclerc. Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix.
All right, I think we can call that a successful qualifying. We should be in with a good chance in the race.
We're back once again beside the St. Lawrence River here in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. The event first moved to a variant of this track back in 1978. It was won by none other than Gilles Villeneuve, the first Canadian to ever win his home race, and in whose honour the circuit would be renamed. We'll be seeing top speeds of around 210 miles an hour here at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve, with around 2/3 of the lap taken at full throttle. High-speed chicanes spell potential danger, especially at the infamous Wall of Champions. And watch out for overtaking into the hairpin and the final chicane. A warm welcome to Anthony Davidson, who's beside me in the commentary box today. Let's start by getting your take on Romain Grosjean. They've had to change their gearbox. It's never a good start to a Grand Prix when, right off the bat, you have to contend with a grid penalty.
Well, at the end of the day, it's always better to take some pain now than parking it up halfway through the Grand Prix. Let's just hope they can put that new gearbox to good use and get the results they're looking for.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. De Vries lines up on pole position and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Albon, Lance Stroll and Sainz, Hülkenberg, Perez, Norris and Kevin Magnussen. Gasly, Ricciardo, Kimi Raikkonen and Vettel, Verstappen, Giovinazzi, Robert Kubica and Daniel Kvyat. Russell and Romain Grosjean sits at the back of the grid. And now, it's time to head down to the track.
Okay, go through all the gears if you can. We need to make sure the engagement is okay before the start. We're going to want to put some temperature into the tyres and brakes. We need to keep the engine cool though, so don't go too high with the revs. The rest of the grid is forming up. Be patient and watch for the lights. Expect to see some rain about 10 to 15 minutes from now. Release. Only one stop to go, one stop left in this strategy. available on the MFD. Okay, copy that. Complete, go now. Lewis is in the pits. We're not going to be able to run in this engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down to mix too soon. The cars are definitely kicking up a lot of spray at this point. I doubt we're quite ready for the full wet, but we're not far off. This is your final lap of the race. Less than a lap of fuel now. The tank is empty. Nice work, that's P1. Race win, well done.
So Mercedes have won it, and what a great race it was. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Rain always has the potential to liven up a race and mix up the order, and they've taken full advantage of that to claim the victory today. It's always a bit of a lottery when the conditions are like this, but they've managed to stay on circuit and have come out on top.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. It wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
Roman Grosjean's my driver of the day. I don't think I've ever seen such a strong performance from him.
Let's move on to the constructors. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. It was also a strong Grand Prix from Haas F1 this weekend. Fantastic work from the American team to move themselves further up the table. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula.
Great work this weekend. It was fantastic to see you up on that podium.